Welcome, Tom, from Tom Putt Photography, located in Mornington on the Mornington Peninsula. And Tom is joining us on the couch at McNeil Real Estate in Mornington. So, Tom, could you tell me a little bit about yourself, please? Now, before you start, Tom talks a lot, so that's why I'm asking for you, please just say a little bit about it.
How long have we got? Hold on, my microphone just went down my top, so I'll just bring that out.
Go for it.
So I've been photographing since I was 13 years old. Working as a professional photographer now for about 22 years.
Yep.
And mainly self-employed through all that time. I do like to work for myself.
Yes.
I love the idea of being able to implement things in the business on a day-to-day basis and not having to go through that hierarchy of managerial roles. Exactly.
Yes,
so that's why I'm confident in the decisions I make, whether they be good or bad, in order to be able to implement things in the business. So I do like working for myself in that way. And I now have a gallery here on Main Street in Mornington that I'm sure we're going to touch on.
Yes, we will be touching on that.
What else have I done? I've been running photographic workshops for the last 15 years, so teaching people the art of landscape photography.
Okay, just landscape? Do you,
Yes.
That's your
That's
niche?
my niche. That's my
Right.
genre.
Okay.
I just love being outdoors. I love the environment.
Yep.
I love nature, and I love creating pretty pictures of that. So
Yes. Okay.
that's what we offer as artwork in my gallery, and that's what I teach people on the workshops.
Okay, fantastic. That was brilliant. Thank you.
I'm trying to keep short and succinct.
So, how long have you lived on the Mornington Peninsula?
About the last 5 years with my gorgeous partner Mary.
Yes.
From the Photography Business Academy.
Yes.
And we have 5 kids that we're raising here on the peninsula. I know, it's full on.
That's incredible.
This is one of the rare weeks where we don't have any of them at home, so it's very
great.
quiet at the
Okay.
moment. We're wondering what all the silence is. But we love it down here. I had it in mind that I was always going to move down here, but I thought it was more going to be retirement.
Right,
Now, I'm
yes.
not at retirement age
Yes,
or
no,
financially
not quite.
able to retire just yet. But I love the idea that we're here, and it's such a beautiful part of the world, and the lifestyle's brilliant.
Yes.
And like many other people, we've made it our home. So
Exactly.
we do
I
love
remember you saying to me once that you could do a sunrise
Yes.
on Western Port,
Yeah.
have a nap,
Yep.
and then go for the sunset in Port Phillip Bay, all in one day.
This must have been before I had the gallery. I had a little bit more time on my hands, but it is unique in a sense
Yes.
that as landscape photographers, we do like seeing a sunrise or a sunset, but we're very fortunate in this regard in that we can see it over the water for
Yes.
both sunrise and sunset. You think
Yes.
about people who live all up the east coast of
Yes.
Australia get to see sunrise over the water, but don't get to see the
don't.
sunset.
That's right.
The
Yep.
same way.
Yep.
People in Perth get to see the sunsets over the water, but
Yes.
not the sunrises.
Sunrise.
We're fortunate; we get both. How cool
Yes,
is that?
it's
So,
amazing.
yep, pop across to Balnarring, Hastings,
Yep.
Flinders, etc. See a beautiful sunrise over the water.
Yep.
In the afternoon, pop over the other side. So it's an incredible
Brilliant.
part of the world in that regard.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. So I guess that kind of touches on what you most love about living down here.
Right. I think the access to all those beautiful places. So when I run my photographic workshops, obviously we photograph a lot, teaching people about photography, and I would photograph during those times. But then when I was home,
Yep.
living up in town, I wouldn't drag my camera out at all
No.
because I do like to photograph more of the wilderness landscapes.
Yes.
And yet down here, I'm out all the
the
time
time,
because
yes.
I've got such close access to those
Yes.
locations, be it
Yep.
Portsea Back Beach or Cape
Bush.
Shank,
Greens
Bush, all
Yes.
those beautiful
Yep.
places. So,
Yep.
and it's all new and exciting, so it's
Yep.
lovely to be out and about.
That's good.
So,
Exciting. And so with your Tom Putt photography business,
yes.
what sort of made you decide to start that business, and who would be your ideal client?
Okay, so the workshop started many years ago, 15 years ago, as I said, because of just my passion for photography and also teaching. I think I'm a
Yes.
reasonably good teacher.
Yes.
I think I can explain things quite well and in a simple format so that people can understand.
Normal people can understand.
That's right,
yes.
and that's what our workshops
Yes.
are catering for. They're catering for people who might have just bought a camera
Yes.
and gone,
they
well,
don't know what ISO and f-stops and
don't even know what
focus and-
settings I should
exactly.
have it on. I've worked out how to turn it on.
There's auto.
Yes,
That's it.
yes. Is that
Point and
little
shoot.
green thing? Is that the one
Yeah.
I should have it on? And that's all
Exactly.
fine. At the end of the day, I just teach people what they want to learn.
Okay,
There's
yes.
30 years worth of knowledge that needs to come
Yes.
out of their head,
Yes.
and that's not often possible in just a few short hours or
Yes.
even a week. Things like that. And so we do tailor the workshops according to what people want to learn. And
Okay.
it's very much at a beginner level if that's what they need.
Okay, so do you have clients at all, what sort of levels are your clients generally?
It's all for amateur photographers who just love photography. It might be somebody like yourself running your own business. It's not in photography, but you're like, geez, I love this photography thing and I'd just like to learn more about it.
Hobby.
Come along on my one-day workshop down here on the peninsula. Come away on a more extended workshop for 4 or 5 days interstate, or come away overseas. We offer them all over the world. And go to some amazing places, right?
Yes.
And that's where people get to really immerse themselves in this idea of photography and learning more.
Yes. Yep.
And so that started 15 years ago. More recently, we've started offering, through my business, the artwork for sale. So the photographs that I've taken for many, many years, either on my own personal time or through the workshops that I've run and been able to go to these amazing places.
Yep.
Local Mornington Peninsula art from all over the peninsula, and the book here as well.
Yes, everything we'll ask you about that.
and then everywhere in between. I think I haven't sort of pigeonholed myself to one particular sort of area or genre just yet. We have a wide variety of photographic artwork from all over Australia and some parts of the world. More recently, my passion has been in aerial abstract landscape photography. Yes. So getting up in a plane or a helicopter, not drones. I do use drones more for the video component, but for the photographic artwork, I love the idea of being up in a plane or a helicopter and photographing from there.
Are you hanging out of the aeroplane?
Not strictly hanging out, but there's
no
door.
There's no door.
Yeah, my favourite is to charter a plane, say over Lake Eyre, for example, where we'll charter a Cessna and we'll take the door off the back, and that just gives us a beautiful uninterrupted view. And then you're just shooting straight into the landscape, and you haven't got perspex or anything else inhibiting your photograph. So really, using a high-end digital camera, we're able to get great quality photographs out of that. And so that's just meant that when you come into the gallery and see the art, you'll just see the details. Incredible.
Yeah, fantastic. That's awesome. So that actually leads me into the question.
Good segue.
The question is, I believe you run workshops around the world.
Some of the more amazing places that we've been recently. I mean, this year it's been a real whirlwind. We started off in Sweden photographing the Northern Lights near the Arctic, well beyond the Arctic Circle.
Wow.
Minus 30 degrees.
Wow,
seeing the beautiful lights dance above us. That was amazing.
Yep.
And then a few weeks later, we went to Lake Baikal in Russia, which not many people have heard of.
No.
It's the largest and the deepest freshwater lake in the world. Every year it freezes over by about that much.
Wow.
50 centimetres to, sort of a metre deep at the top layer. And you can drive on it.
Yes.
You can walk on it, you can photograph it, and people go, well, what's the point of photographing?
Haven't you fallen in?
Thank goodness, no. No, it's very safe when we go that time of year. It's very frozen. When it's, minus 20 degrees, everything tends to freeze very well.
Yeah.
And so we had a workshop there, which was incredible. And then a few weeks later, I was in Africa, photographing in Namibia.
Yes.
The deserts of Namibia and beautiful, places, abandoned diamond mines where the sand is flowing into the buildings that are, 100 years old, things like that. And then we did a couple of aerial photography workshops here in Australia, one in Shark Bay in Western Australia, north of Perth. And then we've done several now over Lake Eyre, because Lake Eyre is now
got water
pretty much full with water. Looks amazing. So we've been exploring those regions that work really well.
So with those workshops, do you choose the people who go with you, or is it sort of
it's open
advertised
to
and anyone
Correct.
can come along?
Correct.
So
we do limit it to only about 6 to 8 people, sometimes less. With the aerial photography workshops, they're limited to sometimes 3 or 4, because we put only 2 people in a plane at a time. That means there's plenty of room.
Yes.
You're not having to swap seats or crammed into a space. So we do have quite exclusive workshops in that regard, but it's generally, it fills on a first come, first served basis.
Okay, great.
And so we do limit it to the number of people, because at the end of the day, I need to make sure that I can provide a
control and
a
look after
luxury,
the people.
a luxury experience whereby we stay in nice places, we eat well, we travel in nice, transport, but then also too, you're not competing with 20 other people in order to grab my attention.
Correct.
Yeah, it's very much a case of me wanting to spend as much time as you need in order to be able to get the tuition that you want.
Fantastic. So with that as well, I think I read that you also include like Photoshop workshops.
Yeah, I do.
Within that particular, so it's not just taking photos?
Not just that. With every workshop that I run, regardless of whether it's a one-day workshop here on the peninsula or an extended workshop, it always includes some of that
Okay,
computer time.
post-production type.
It
yes.
does, yeah, because
Yeah.
photographing digitally is only half of it. At the
Yes.
end of the day, when you're photographing with not your iPhone, which has the
Yes.
software that processes it in the phone, people don't know that in fact a lot's been done to your photograph in
Yes.
your phone to make it look good, which
Yes.
is perfect, right?
Yep.
But then with a camera, it's not the same, so you need to do
Yes.
that yourself. But that's
Yes.
part of the creative process. You
Yes.
can make it look however you want.
Yes.
Turn it black and
Okay.
white,
Yeah.
add some grain to it to give it some texture or something like that,
Okay.
rotate the photograph so that it
Yes.
looks interesting, a different
From a
way.
different angle, yeah.
Crop it,
Right.
all sorts of things you can do. They're very basic, but at the end of the day, I like to teach that as well.
Yes.
Because photographing is only half of it.
Yes.
And so it's remiss of me not to offer that other part
next-
so that
yep.
people aren't taking the photos and going, oh, they don't look as
It
good
looks
as I like.
nice. Yeah, it looks, they're okay, but what do I do now?
And
Yeah.
little do they know that if they did 4 or 5 things,
Yep.
that'd take a few minutes on their computer, all of a sudden it looks amazing.
amazing,
And
yep.
I want to put that on the wall.
Yep,
I
brilliant.
can't wait to share that with others,
Yeah.
things like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
so
that's
we
brilliant.
always offer that part. And there's also a photo critique component as well. In that, I'll sit down with you one-on-one and we'll process some photographs together. But then I'll also say, hey, how about next time we go out this afternoon
Right.
when we photograph, why don't we try doing this from,
Different
a
angle.
different angle or crop in a bit more on that or use a different lens, all those sorts of things. Just little tips that'll
Okay.
just help improve your photographs. And that's why
Great. Yes.
they're a workshop, not a tour. A
Yes.
tour will be
Yes.
something where you'll go with a guide.
Yes.
He'll drop you off and go,
Yeah,
right,
you'll
it's all
set up
there.
your camera
Off
and
you
you
go.
do it. Yeah,
you do it
correct.
yourself. No tuition in the
Yes.
field or in
Or
the classroom.
afterwards, yeah.
Whereas our workshops are that. We're
Yeah.
wanting people to improve in their photography each and every day. And so that's what we work on.
Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you. So I guess that also leads into what sort of services and tours are currently on offer?
They're all available on my website, which is at tomputt.com. And there's a menu option at the top that says
Yes.
photography workshops. Click on
Yes.
that. And it's listed chronologically what we have coming
Okay.
up. So
Fantastic.
we have workshops here in Australia that we've got from now until the end of the year, and then overseas and both here in
so
Australia
just look
and
it up
overseas.
on tomputt.com.
It's all there. A lot of what we've talked about,
Yeah,
already.
is
We
there.
tend to repeat some of the same
Yes.
workshops that are very popular because
Yes.
people miss out
Yes.
and want to come on one in
Well,
the
if,
future.
if you can only take 8,
It's
I'm
not
sure
many,
there's a
isn't
lot
it?
of people that
yeah,
also
exactly
want to go.
right.
Yeah.
We do have a really high repeat clientele.
Okay.
Last year it was 91%. And so
Wow.
that only allowed for only a
Yeah,
few
a
new
couple
people
more,
to come along.
exactly, yeah.
But at the end of the day, people love what we do and they like the
Yeah.
idea of coming away, on a workshop where they get that luxury experience, but then get to revisit
Yes.
or perhaps
And have
places
another
they've been
go.
already,
Yes.
but then also go to
something
new
different.
places as well. So
Yep.
we mix it up a bit. We
Yep.
tend to sort of offer
Yep.
the same workshop some years and then new
slightly
workshops
different.
each year as well
Yep.
because we have so many people that have come with us already. They say,
Yeah.
where can we go next?
Yeah,
Let's
okay,
go somewhere.
awesome,
Let's go
awesome.
somewhere new and exciting. So we do mix
That's
it up
good.
a bit.
That sounds absolutely brilliant. So how can people sort of access your services? Is
Yes.
it online? Do they come and see you? Where are you? How
Yes,
do they find
if
you?
they're wanting to come on a workshop, all the information there is online,
Website.
as I said, through tomputt.com.
Yep.
And then if they're looking to purchase artwork, they're best to come into the gallery.
Yes.
They can purchase online also through that
Yes.
same website, but we have obviously a range of different options that we can finish the artwork on, such as a framed print,
Right.
a metal print, or an acrylic
Yep.
print. We'd love them to come into the gallery and see
And
that,
choose,
particularly if they're local. We're open 7 days a week, 10 till
Yes.
4.
Yes.
We're at 1/139 Main Street in Mornington, right near just across the road from Farrell's Bookshop there.
Yep.
And so they can come in and have a chat with us about the artwork, see what we've got on the walls, but obviously there's plenty more options available
Yep.
as well.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. And talking about books,
Yes.
would you like to tell us about
I
your
know,
book?
I'm so excited. We only released this a couple of months ago. We haven't even had an official launch yet. We've sold probably
you've nearly
half of them
sold out.
already. We have all of people have been wandering past the
Yes,
gallery and they've been watching
going
the pile
down,
go down.
yes.
We have every single, for those who haven't seen it already, we've
Yes.
every single book that we ordered is in a beautiful stacked pile at the
Yes.
front of our gallery,
It
as you've
is,
seen
yes.
there. And that pile's been steadily going down. But it's about 160 pages. It's got 80 of my favourite photographs from the Mornington Peninsula in it.
Okay, so it's just specifically
Just the Mornington Peninsula, and they're
Okay.
all my photographs.
Brilliant.
And it's from all over the peninsula, different parts, etc., etc. And it's a beautiful hardcover coffee table book.
Mm-hmm.
It's just $50. People already have been buying it for Christmas.
Yes.
I can't believe that. I'm like,
Yes.
Christmas seems like years away, but
It's
it's
not. We're in August already. It's not far.
So it's a perfect gift for anybody who
Yeah.
wants to give that to somebody who perhaps has visited the peninsula or who
Yes.
lives on the peninsula. people who have, Airbnbs have been
Yes.
buying it to put on their
Yeah,
coffee
perfect.
table,
Yep.
businesses, waiting rooms, all sorts of things. So
Yep.
it's got many applications, and being just $50,
Yeah,
people
it's
just,
not overly
I think
expensive.
it's a great,
Yeah.
it's a great value for
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
Okay, no, that's fantastic. So, is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
How many hours have we got? No, I think that's covered off a lot. Thank you very
Yes.
much for the
No, you're
opportunity,
welcome.
and
You're
lovely to
welcome.
see you again.
Thank you for coming in, Tom. It's been brilliant. So, thank you. That's another section or segment on the couch with Janet at McNeil Real Estate. And thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Jen.
And yeah, great. Thanks very much.